The first time I saved a life, I was 6 years old. I was having dinner with my parents when I saw my neighbor through my window suddenly fainting on her couch. I suddenly felt a pain in my chest, and I knew that she was feeling it too. That lady was in danger. I made my parents follow me to her house and call 911. She'd been having a heart attack, and the doctors saved her life thanks to our help. That was the day my powers were recognized. You see, I've always been a bit different from others around me. My parents didn't realize it for the longest time. They thought it was just funny that I burped every time they did. They loved me for how I always seemed to know how they were feeling. I was the dream daughter, but they never thought that I was some kind of medical marvel. After many years of testing, we discovered that I had a rare condition called mirror touch synesthesia. I could physically feel what other people feel, so long as I was looking at them. Apparently, Selena was in a crisis. She was sure her boyfriend was cheating on her, and she wanted me to watch him while she asked him the truth. He's too good a liar. The only person he can't lie to is you, Lucia. I don't know. I'll give you $100. Sold. She took me to the football field where her boyfriend was hanging out with the other players. Tell me the truth, Sam. Are you cheating on me? The entire team fell silent as everyone stared at the two. No way, babe. You're the only one for me. Selena turned to me. Sorry, he's lying. I can feel his guilt. Sam, you total jerk. Babe, don't tell me you believe this. Like wildfire. I had a new energy when I went to school now. I was invited-y and sleepover. Social schedule always packed. Best of all, the money I made really helped my parents out. I paid off our mortgage and bought them a car. And I had money left over to buy myself an awesome gaming setup and a whole new wardrobe. Life was going great, till the day I decided to ask Nate. The new ran away. Was happy. I tried once more when school that day, but one look at me and he ran away again. I looked around me in shock. They'd all groups that hovered at the edges of the parking lot, and they were always looking at me. Even at this distance, I could feel it. They're scared of you. They know that if you see them up close, you'll know all their little secrets. So it turned out that my powers were scaring all the boys away from me. I tried to ignore it at first, but it started to get under my skin. First, they stopped partnering with me in class. Then they started wearing hoodies and sunglasses to school to hide their faces from me. Till one day, they even started disappearing from the hallways when they saw me. This was getting beyond ridiculous. As if this wasn't bad enough, this Lucy phobia meant my job was getting harder too. Now that the boys were avoiding me, I was always hiding and wearing disguises to spy on people's dates. Thankfully, the money was still rolling in. But when I didn't get asked out for the spring dance, I was devastated. I turned off my app for a day. I didn't want to hear anyone's problems today. I had enough of my own. Selena called me 5 minutes later. Hey, why is your app not working? Because I don't want to work. Why not? Luce, I want you. It's like life and death. I led him to the bathroom. We talked. Mansion. Amazing. Finally, a boy who didn't look at me like I was a ghost. Then as we got hot, I wanted to melt. Are you checking me out? No. Liar. He grinned at me. My face was pretty much entirely red now as I turned to leave. Perhaps you could continue checking me out over dinner sometime. I was too shocked to hide my surprise. You're asking me out on a date? I know, it's a bit fast. I mean, I don't even know your name. I gasped. That's why he was so chill. He didn't know who I was. But sometimes you just have a feeling, you know? I knew exactly how he felt. Just as I was about to say yes, Selena showed up behind us. Lucia, Alex, you already met. I nearly passed out. He was Alex? The Alex? Why is he shirtless? Alex answered her while I mentally kicked myself repeatedly, hard. I wanted the one guy I couldn't have tonight, and he wanted me. But that didn't matter. Over. I panicked and slid under the table. Nice out. I had no answer. Me. Believe he spotted you. Ugh, look. I need you there when I ask him. Unstoppable Selena put together an event faster than I could blink. I went for my last assignment, sulking the whole way there. But then I saw Alex at the party, and he made my heart hurt. Where on earth would I find a boy like him again? Are you ready? I nodded grumpily. She took Alex aside and told him how she felt. The first thing I felt was Alex's polite but firm no. I could sense Selena's anger and disappointment as she turned around and ran away. Just then, Alex turned and walked right up to me. You're not a very good spy, but you're a very good friend. Helping Selena out like this with your powers when you clearly have a crush on me. My face was red again. So what? You have a crush on me. Yeah? But you know what I do. Why aren't you running like the other boys? Because I have nothing to hide. Plus, you're just too gorgeous to ignore. Will you go out with me? Just don't ruin my shirt. I finally said yes. It was so exciting to finally go out on dates with an amazing person. I was blissfully...
Storytime, I was the toxic best friend. So a little background information, I was 16 and a sophomore in high school. And at the beginning of the year, I met this girl who we're gonna call Riley. Riley and I hit it off straight away. Like a week after knowing each other, she knew everything about me and I knew everything about her. Well, then she tells me about this guy that she's talking to, who we're gonna call Jay. She said that they would hook up sometimes and he would text her sometimes. But she said that I couldn't tell anybody because he said that it had to be a secret. So I tried telling her that he sounded like a fuckboy, but she decided she was going to do whatever she wanted. And I was like, okay. So fast forward to the end of the year, he adds me on Snapchat. Okay, don't get me wrong. He was really hot, but I had my own thing going on. So I really didn't pay that much attention to him. And I thought he maybe added me on Snapchat to be like, oh my God, I really like your best friend. And then I also was caught between a rock and a hard place. Do I tell my best friend that the guy that she likes just added me on Snapchat? Or do I lie to her? Well, I was going to tell her until I got a Snapchat from him, like for part 2. Part 2 about how I was the toxic best friend. So like I said, I didn't know whether I should tell her that he added me on Snapchat or if I should. And I was going to until I got a Snapchat from him saying, hey, you're really pretty. I think we should talk sometime. So I ended up telling her about it because I felt really bad. And she was like, this is why I can't trust girls. Like, you need to unadd him right now. Like, fucking block him. And I'm like, I didn't even do anything. Like, what the fuck? So whatever. I end up blocking him. It's fine. Until he texts me one day. And he's like, hey, it's Jay. I think you blocked me on Snapchat, LOL. And him and I had talked a little bit in school and I kind of started to like him. Well, fast forward, him and I ended up hooking up a few times. We were talking a lot. And he hadn't been texting Riley as much. Well, the one night while I was sleeping over her house, my phone was going off a lot. And I didn't think to delete any of the messages, like for part 3. Part 3 about how I was the toxic best friend. So like I said, I was sleeping over her house the one night. My phone was blowing up and she knows my password and everything. And I stupidly did not delete the text messages between Jay and I. And I kid you not, I wake up to a slap across the face. It felt like she slapped me with her fist. And it looked like it too because I had a black eye. So I woke up and she's like, what the fuck? Like, I hate you so much. Like, why would you do this? And I look down and she has my phone right in her hand on the text messages with Jay. And I ended up feeling really bad because she started crying, saying that, like, I knew that she liked him a lot. And I also knew the reason why he wasn't texting her as much. Well, then she ran downstairs and she told her mom. And the next thing I know, I had her mom, and her 3 other sisters screaming at me. And then I got blocked by Jay because she wasn't supposed to know and she leaked his nudes.